Hey guys, Zyger here. I wanted to bring you guys a video concerning patch 2.4 EXP changes. So, the reason why I'm bringing this video to fruition is the fact that the way that players gain experience in patch 2.4 has been altered in three major ways. So, I'm going to kind of address this from each of those angles. And the first thing is something that I gleaned from talking to the development team, and it's something that hasn't been very well publicized, so I thought it was worth talking about briefly. And that's the fact that in 2.4, Wyatt Chang told me that yellow elites will now drop a fourth EXP globe, and that's pretty big because there's just a consistency right now for top tier players to sometimes just skip elites. You just skip in the elite, go to the next floor, see if you got better whites there, join the whites together. A lot of the killing of elites in greater rifts when you're pushing is actually incidental. So you're just dragging these elites along. This may help players to stop a little bit more to kill the elites for yellows. And in addition to that, Wyatt told me that the EXP globes themselves are going to be buffed a little bit as far as how much EXP they give. And when I asked him how much, he said about 20%. So that should lead to a little bit more incentive to kill elites in general. I think this is a really good plan, especially when you get higher and higher and higher into higher tiers. That is a worthy change, I think. The next thing I wanted to talk about is bonus experience changes here. So that's another way that EXP is being changed a little bit in the next patch and on the PTR. And that is that bonus XP gear has basically been rendered, unusable. 90% deficiency at level 70. So this, to me, is actually kind of a good change because players will equip the gear that makes them the most powerful. So you'll be plowing through mobs faster, getting through rifts faster. This way you don't have to feel like you're pigeonholed into just using EXP gear and doing things like that. The other thing here is to compensate. Monsters are granting more experience in general. So whereas you used to, just get more EXP from the gear and then it's distributed amongst the party members, which I actually thought was a good step forward beyond, where only one player used to get that experience with the gear. Now this is like a step further. You're going to get most of your experience, from monsters. So I think this is a good change. You're not going to feel like you had to sacrifice DPS and damage just for EXP leech gear. So I think that's good. And in the third way, and I think this might be the most important here, is monster health has been reduced significantly for solo players and smaller groups. So that means solo players 2s and 3s. And I think this is a fantastic thing because one of the things that I told the dev team as far as feedback when I got a chance to talk to Travis Day, Wyatt Chang, Josh Mascara, a lot of the other devs, I told them that people are burning out of the season pretty quickly because partially because they feel like they don't have the adequate composition amongst their friends to make a good fours team which can push the higher tiers. They feel like, well, where I'm at right now, I can't upgrade my gems anymore. I don't really have the capacity to push further than I ever could, and it creates a domino effect where these people quit the season where they could have been part of a four-man team, and then your friends leave, you leave, and now you're kind of left on your own and you can't really push further unless you can get a good group composition. This will make solo much more attractive. I think there's a real possibility that solo is going to be able to push further than force teams in Greater Rift. So I think that's a really good change. Overall, I'm really happy with this EXP changes that is going to occur. Regarding the extra EXP globe and percentage boost, I don't think that's been really publicized that much. At least I couldn't see that on Diablo fans. And just a few things that are going to make the game a little bit better come 2.4. So hope you enjoyed this. Wanted to thank the dev team for speaking to me, giving me that information. And hope you guys catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Zygor. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think about these EXP changes. Do you think this is a good thing for the game, or do you think this is a bad thing? Would you prefer that it remains the same as it is now, or do you like this change? I'd love to know that. So, thanks guys. Have a good one. See you in game.